Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello to you. Let's get the link to this broadcast posted over on the website. For some reason, the little thing is not copying. Copy video link. I usually get a sign that it copied. It did not. All right, it ends on BQ, and then let's click that. All right, the website is, by the way, happy Monday. Website is jollyrogerukulele.com and paste, shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and looking around, the microphone's in the way now, update, and patience, okay, it reopened. So that should get everybody rolling in here. We've changed the schedule these days. This is the 4 o'clock class, and we meet here Monday through Friday. And basic idea right now, we're studying lead sheets and how to turn, if you have the melody and the chords, how do you turn that into a full arrangement? It is harder than you'd think. Well, no, it's not. It's exactly as hard as you think. I'm going to go post this on Twitter, and then I'll talk about what we're going to be doing specifically. jollyrogerukulele.com. Click on that. And let's put the skeleton up there today, just for fun. Tweet. Alright, so there's the skeleton. And so when you click on that, it opens up to a big skeleton. How fun. Alright, and then let me close this out. And let's see. Carol's made it in. Happy Monday to you, Carol. Sound is great, she says. That's good. I moved all kinds of stuff around here, cleaning up this room, getting ready for summer. And I figured in the process of moving everything around, I would probably have hit a chord or bumped a setting or something, and we wouldn't be able to do anything at all. But that's good to know. Linda is in from Colorado Springs. Life goes on. And that's the song we're working on. Da 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 da. La da da, how life goes on. La la la, how life goes on. Nice. Red is in. Let's see. I think last week we ended up with this sound. Here's the new sound for the day. That's a burp. There's the red sound of the day is a burp. Elizabeth's in. Good afternoon. Sunny and warm up, and yeah, we're having a beautiful day here in Colorado. Out east over the weekend they had some pretty serious tornadoes, but here in town it's positively lovely right now. Blue skies. They're trying to turn Cherry Creek into its own city, so they're putting up another crane I see over there, and yeah, so that's what's going on here. All right, Michelle is in from rainy Rockaway Beach, Oregon. Welcome in, Michelle. Jan is in from Lakewood. She's just to the west of me. Lindy, so good to see you. Howdy ho to you. Good to be back. Might not be here every day for a bit, but at least part of the time. Lindy, we'll take you when we can get you. Absolutely. So delighted you're here with us. Plus, it's the Beatles, and so you guys should know. Lindy, last year, did her small group for the orchestra did Purple People Eater, and she made a Purple People Eater costume, and it was awesome. And at halftime, everybody could go out in the lobby and take a picture with the Purple People Eater person. It was very exciting. Very exciting times. Good to have you, Lindy. Patricia, good to see you. Hello. Diane in, back for the week. Rita in from Highland Park, Illinois. Good to see you, Rita. Jack in from Glenview, Illinois. All the Illinoisans are showing up. Good to see you guys. Amy in from Denver here. Pam from Connecticut. Good to see you, Pam. Sandy in from northern Michigan. It's evening where she is. Kat in from Texas. Ukulele learning in from Massachusetts. Good to see all you guys. Hey, let's just go ahead and get started. As people wander in, they'll catch up. This week, this is the easy song of the week. Okay, doesn't mean it's easy, but it is of the ones that we're going to do this week. This is definitely the easiest one. So hopefully this will just pop together today and no big deal. And then the rest of the week, and remember, those of you who are members, tonight we have orchestra, jazz orchestra. I posted Satin Doll and Moonglow for us to take a look at. Probably won't play them really, but we will definitely go through and talk about what's in them. They're not easy, guys, and so just know that well, anything that's attached to the jazz program is pretty challenging. And so for those of you looking for a challenge that's there, melody is always possible to play a little bit easier, but the full arrangements are pretty challenging. Also, this week we're going to be doing Penny Lane, which turns out is a pretty challenging little tune. And then we will also do When I'm 64, because some of you are 29 and you have a few years to go. You want to get this ready for your 64th birthday. And then on Thursday, I'm working on a Yellow Submarine / Octopus's Garden medley. So I've got the Yellow Submarine part done. Now I'm trying to figure out how to squish it next to the Octopus's Garden, and then there's that. On Friday, we'll be doing an arpeggio, and then you'll have final arrangements of all the others. And then what I thought, guys, I know some of you are like, Beatles, whatever. And some of you are like, yeah, Beatles. We'll do one more week where we just play from the list, and that'll give me a chance to get baritone versions of all the other ones that we haven't done those for yet. And then we'll have a really solid group of tunes in the member section. And so that's what the plan for the week is, and really into next week. So hopefully that makes sense. Also remember, if you have nothing better to do with yourselves, and you can't possibly have anything better to do than ukulele, we have, after this period, at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock the next hour each day, we're just going to combine harmonica, ukulele, and guitar into one just ensemble. You come, you play with this half hour, 45 minutes, and then you're good for the day. So that will be a much lower level strumming and singing along, trying different things on your instruments, and it should be fun. We'll see. Maybe stupid, but let's see. I doubt it's stupid, but it should be good. Marianne is in. Hello, beautiful Monday to you. Linda, cloudy, only 54 up in Vancouver. Burr. Jennifer, good to be here again. Chicago is 80 degrees. Gosh, you guys are hot out there. And Linda, happy to see Satin Doll. I love Mondays. Yeah, Satin Doll was Satin Doll. In jazz, the problem is I have a workflow where I do all of my arrangements, and you get to a jazz piece, and all of a sudden it's just like you threw a wrench in the machinery, man. They're very, very challenging pieces to arrange. So take it from me that today I'm delighted to be arranging Obladi, Oblada. Let's talk about it. It's 83 over there in SoCal. Nice. All right. So some of you know this song, some of you don't. Lennon and McCartney thought this was a reggae song, right? The reggae wasn't a thing yet, but they'd heard some Jamaican music and some Caribbean stylings, and so they wanted to try to do something like that, and so that's where this comes from. Let's grab your G chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Desmond in the barrow in the marketplace. C chord. Melly is a singer in the band. Desmond has a dolly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says this as she takes him by the hand. Obladi, Oblada, life goes on. From la la la, how life goes on. Obladi, Oblada, life goes on. La la la, how life goes on. And then from there, obviously, we turn back to the top, and the lyrics are: Desmond has a trolley in the jeweler's store. So I guess you'd picture him like one of those little kiosks in the mall. Buys a $20 golden ring. Takes it back to Molly, waiting at the door, and as he gives it to her, he begins to sing. Right? Obladi, Oblada, life goes on. Obladi, Oblada, life goes on. brah, la la la, how life goes on. Then you go back the third time. No, I'm sorry, you don't go back the third time. You roll right through the repeat. Usually in music, when you hit a repeat and you go and do it, if you come back the second time, you ignore that repeat. You just roll right through it. In this case, you do. Notice at the beginning of measure 17, there's a eighth note rest. That's where you're going to put in your C chord. In a couple of years, they have built a home, sweet home, 2, 3, 4. With a couple of kids running in the yard of Desmond and Molly Jones. Ha 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 ha. Remember that? Okay. Dun, 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 dun. A super fun moment there. And then you will see the double bar line and DSL coda. That means go to the senyo and play to the coda. So then every time I hit one of those, I'm like, oh shoot, where was the senyo? Okay. In this case, the senyo's at measure 1. Let's play through the last time there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy ever after in the marketplace. Desmond lets the children lend a hand. Molly stays at home and does her pretty face, and in the evening she's a singer with the band. Obladi, Oblada, life goes on. La la la, how life goes on. Whoops, I forgot the D. Oblada, life goes on. La la la, how life goes on. 2, 3, 4. There's your coda. And you're like, okay, now where does that coda go to? All the way down to measure 24. La la la, how life goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the coda is just giving you the last chord. And in the song they go, woohoo! So that's a reggae song according to John and Paul. You can see pretty quickly, you're like, okay, there are not too many chords. All the chords make sense. I'm going to be fine. Let's talk about the melody. Not a ton here. Probably written on one of the guitars, either by John or George. Probably John, since they always credited George separately. And probably just practicing doing his strumming. Let's grab the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Pinky. 2, 3. All the way up to 10, back to 5, again, okay, and then you repeat. The second time you come around, you go into 17. At 17, remember, you're going to strum that chord, that C chord, for the half beat rest. Blunk, but you're not going to, the melody has to come in. And notice you got 16th notes. In a couple of years, it's really fast. Whoops. Here it is. Okay, so to get that right, you're going to have to cover both threes. Okay, so I'm going to have to memorize that in order to get it at proper speed. 3, 3, 3, 5, 7. 7's a quarter note, so you got a second to rest there. And then the rest of it, you got to work pretty hard at. 10, 3, 7, 3, 2. Alright, so go back. 3, 3, 3, 5, 7, 5, 7, 10, 3, 7, 3, 2. Okay, pretty challenging little melody, but you'll see when we get the chords in there, it starts to come together a little smoother. Measure 20, same exact thing. Rest. Oh, sorry. Rest. And then it changes. And then 5, 3, 2, 0. Okay, so I spent a lot of time on dun 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 dun. You can tell I'm like, oh, that's cool. Go back, play the song a third time up to measure 16. When you get to 16, you'll jump down to the end. Now, so not a ton of melody here, not super difficult chords, so that means that you get a chance to do something a little bit extra with your arrangement. So grab your G chord. That's how we start arrangements. If the chord's a G, grab the G. Melody note is a 2. We happen to be holding it down. And since it's kind of a fast and fun song, I could do... I could do that, or I could try to create additional energy, put in a little bit more excitement into it, and that's what I'm going to try to do anyway, by instead of doing, which I would typically do probably, I'm going to try doing every single note. Okay, now there's a whole lot more sound there, maybe good, maybe bad, but there's something to work on. The other possibility would be to pluck your way through it. So think about those different choices that you have. All of those create quite a different feeling, but you're really just after G and D chord. The only moment where you have to do anything weird is that 0 at the end of measure 1. So if you think about it as bum 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 bum, right? You can just strum your way through it. When you get to and we've talked about this in other songs in the past, when most of the melody is hanging out on string 1, that gives you a chance to do some strumming and playing the melody at the same time until that melody note drops off of the first string and then goes into the second string. Then you got to be a little bit smarter about how to make the 3 and the 2 there stars without overwhelming them with your strumming. And so I would say, if you're thinking about reggae, dun, 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 it tends to be a little bit broken up anyway. So I might think about plucking my way through there. Probably is what I might do. If I chose strumming, I'd want to be super careful that the 3 and the 2 don't get eaten up. Still got kind of eaten up there, so maybe I would go through and look at those notes by themselves. Right, so reach in and pluck those notes and then strum those around it. When you get to measure 3, you don't have to worry about that anymore because everything's on the first string. So let's play that. Ready, go. What you notice is when you know what the melody is, we all know that the 3 was a melody. This 2 on the first string jumped in there. It's okay because it's still part of the chord, but it's not really what you want, right? You really would rather have where it's nice and clean. Ukulele helps you out a little bit because you got a G on the top note and a G on the third note, so you got a lot of the right note in there, and then the rest of your chords sort of happening at the same time. Let's try just through 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then let's go back and then let's not, instead of plucking it, try strumming it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, So C, you depending on what you're after, your arrangement may be different based on what sounds best in your ears. It's probably going to be a mixture of both all of the time when you're doing arranging, but give yourself, that's why you spent the whole last year studying all these different right hand techniques, right? You thought it was so that you could learn how to play Beethoven, but that's only part of the picture, right? We talked about strumming, we talked about plucking, we talked about boom chugging, we talked about chunking, we talked about all these different right hand patterns. Now when it's time to do your arrangement, you have to, decide how am I going to approach this. And when we get to the two jazz pieces tonight, it's really clear to me that one way on one song is absolutely the right way and absolutely the wrong way on the other song, right? And so when you're playing a song like this, you're thinking, all right, what can I do to make the song fun, exciting, and yet still have the melody jump out and the song be the song. Let's go on from there. Measure 5, you've got this 5. Now, here's the thing. I talk about this quite often. This G chord with your pinky up on 5. Not particularly a pleasant shape, especially if you're a newer player. Your G chord with your pinky up here can be quite problematic because there's quite a stretch that happens here. Now, the thing that I know is that I make the guitar players do it, and the stretch is gigantic. I make the baritone players do it, and the stretch is pretty gigantic. And I make ukulele players do it because the reason I don't make you do anything, but I do feel like, hey, if I've got this setup, what I want to do is with this piece, now all I have to do is slide this back to the 3 when it shows up and take it off when there's a 2, put it back on the 3, back on the 5, right? So it's this way I've always got my chord set, and then all of the melody notes are just hanging around. I just got to move my pinky a little bit. So from 5, I'll go real slow. G chord with your pinky, go. Then pull it back to the 3, and then take it off. And then C chord. Okay, and just like in Yankee Doodle, this goes all the way back to Yankee Doodle, probably best to grab the 3rd position there, because then you've got 3, 5 is covered with your ring, and your pinky can reach 7 easily. Okay, and then 5, 7, 5, 3, and you can choose whether you're going to want to put a chord underneath that. Okay, go to 7, G chord, 3 with your pinky. And a D chord underneath the 0, that's perfect. Probably use your pinky to get the 3 and the 2. And then a G chord at measure 8. Okay. And I always put, as you guys know, I always put in almost always put in, when I see a longer note, a whole note, dotted half note, a lot of times on a half note itself, I will put in another decorative note right after that to help me count so that I don't come in early. And she takes him by the hand. Right, and I will do something like that. A lot of times in that situation where I'm ending on one note that is the same note I'm going to use to start off the next idea with, is I'll go down. Or okay, so there's that. Let's see. Jennifer says, I like the plucking. Personal opinion, strumming is heavier, not as lively. Yeah, and I think Jennifer's point is well taken there, right? That plucking tends to sound more lively, but that's really an individual thing, right? Some people, you watch them strum, you watch Jake Shimabukuro strum, and your thought isn't, gosh, she's playing very heavy. Your thought is, oh my gosh, she's playing like an angel would play a harp, so you want to be thinking about what can you do, right? What sounds best to you? And for Jennifer and Rita are saying, you know what? That feels heavy. Go with plucking. So both, that's plucking. That sounds awesome. I think I tried both ways. Find what makes sense. Let's do these obladis. The obladis are 3-2, and then your pinky, and then take your pinky off, put it back on, take it off, pat it back on, and this is a moment where you have a chance to do something cool. right? You get two things that are cool. Your pinky's on 5, and as soon as you hit it, slide it up. You get that little slidey sound. And then when you pluck the 10, wiggle your pinky. Okay, so you're going to get a slide and a vibrato at the same time. And your people are going to think you are really something. Okay, they don't know that you got that going, but definitely try anyway. So it's. Okay, and then you can even make that go a little bit extra long, unless you're playing an ensemble. But even hopefully if you're an ensemble, they'll be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll let it go a minute extra. And then back to your G chord with your pinky. Okay, and there's a D chord there. I missed it. So let's do the G chord. And then grab. I would grab, in this situation where you have a D chord with a 2 followed by a 0, I would probably tend to grab all 4 fingers, index, middle, ring, and pinky. That way you can just lift up your pinky. Okay, because if you grab a bar there, when you do the 0, you lift up the entire bar. It stops the whole chord, and if you don't have to, okay, ukulele is still ringing because I'm using my pinky to get to the 2. Of course, you have to lose the chord to get to the G, and then a couple extra notes in there, and then it just crossed my mind as we were talking about this. You might pluck one part of it and strum another part, right? You've got different sections. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in the band. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says she takes him by the hand. You might play that with one particular type of right hand technique. And then Obladi, Oblada, life goes on. Bro, right? That might be a different type. Mix it up. Try both and see which makes the most sense. Let's see. Michelle says, "Yep, I'm into plucking as well." And the 10, like making a straight octave by plucking the G string, and the A string. Oh yeah, right. So very smart, very smart. So what Jennifer is saying, hey, when you go. Hit your top string as well. Okay. Octave G chord, right? So now you've got 3 things that you could pull off. And then wiggle that. Very smart, Jennifer. Nice work. And if you've got a low G, then you have a double octave, right? Darn, gotta go. Board meeting. Yeah, I have board meetings too, Carol, so I get it. Unfortunately, the board meetings are more important than ukulele, oddly enough. And then second part of Obladi, Oblada, life goes on. Bruh, same exact thing. Da da da, how life goes on. The 5-3-2-0-3-2-3, right? Okay. And then put some decorative notes in the middle of 16. You go back, replay the whole thing. It could be really fun. One of the things I'd recommend, and I don't talk speed very often because I don't believe in it as a musical concept. What you find is that young people and young musicians and musicians who want to prove something, they play really, really fast, and they want you to think that they're all that. And musicians who are 60, 70 years old, they've been doing it for 50, 60, 70, 80 years. Those guys are better player. They bring more thought and mindfulness to the music. They've been through some stuff that you notice they play way slower. It's not because they can't play fast. It's because the music happens at a slower pace. So you want your instrument to be able to put it together. So for most of the time, I don't really talk about speed. I just don't think it's really one of those things. You want to be able to play stuff at a reasonable pace, but you don't need to play stuff crazy fast. This song might be an exception. I did find as I was messing around with it, Hotel California Speed. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. That's beautiful, right? But if you got Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace, place. It's a little bit more fun. Probably a little bit more what they meant too, right? So yeah, I would say, try to push the speed on this one just a little bit. 17, let's go to 17. Now I've been talking about this chord at the beginning of a measure. Almost always, not always, but almost always, you're going to put a chord in there, right? Okay, bum. And even though it's a rest, the rest is for the singer. The rest has nothing to do with you as an instrumentalist. You will, especially as a ukulele instrumentalist, you got really no use for rest at all. You're going to do something, right? And so in this case, you're going to put a C chord in at that rest. And then as fast as your little brain can make it happen, and I'm going to have to memorize it, right? So I'm probably going to cover both strings and still hit my C chord. Right? And because that section is pretty fast, here's a place where I might slow it, the overall part of it. If I go into that too fast and blow it, then I haven't done myself any good. So I might slow it down just a smidge so I can play it. And then when I get to that C on the 10, okay, so I'm going to hit that 10 with my full chord, and then I'm going to just play through 3, 7, 3, and then I'm going to hit that G chord at 19. And then I'm going to hit another big chord at 20. And then I'll put my G chord on at measure 22. Jones. And I'm not going to put on anything after that. Jones. Bum, 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 bum. The reason I want to keep that part simple is it sounds cool. It's really fun that they put that in there. But you keep that simple because you need to be up at measure 1 again as quickly as possible. Ha ha. You don't want to do ha 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 ha. Desmond has a part, a happy ever after. You don't want to do that. You want to be right on top of it. Same thing on that turnaround on Moon River. When we do that G7 turnaround at the end of the first time through, you really want to be on top of getting to the back to the top of the page. And so with this one, 5, 3, 2, 0, G chord. Happy ever after. Right? And so that's what we're after. I'd like to go through and play it as written one time through. We will play it slow so you have a chance since you don't have anything written down yet. And then let's make sure we remember what our real goal is with these last few lead sheets. We'll do 4 more, then we'll take a week off. We'll just play some Beatles music, and then we will go back into it. Now, a couple of you have sent me notes and said, how about if I don't have the chords, or how about if I want to make my own melody line and this type of stuff. We're going to work on all of that this summer, but I want you to have a good foundation. If I give you the melody and I give you the chords, you can make music with it. And I will tell you that if you are a jazz musician, you have been to college, you know all of your modes, whatever the heck those are. We're going to talk about modes tonight. I hate them. And you know all of your chords, and you know all of your keys, and you know all this stuff. When you sit down to play a new song, what you want is a lead sheet, because you want to know very quickly, you want to be able to scan through it, make sure the melody makes sense to you, and get a general sense of what your chords are. And then, of course, as a jazz musician, you're going to mess all those chords up, but it gives you just general way to view the song very quickly. And so that's what we're working on here. We're going to get where you can just take the song, put the accompaniment together, and then we'll talk about, well, where does the chords come from? Where does the melody come from? And how do I create that as well? And so all that stuff's going to happen this summer. By the end of the summer, you're going to be trouble. You're going to have all of my good stuff in your head, and you're going to go out and take over, and that's fine, right? So let's play. So that's our plan. Let the process kind of play out just a little bit, guys. Get good at doing the arrangements and getting where that feels comfortable to you, and then we will get into how do you do the next steps, getting the melodies together, getting the chords together. I will give you some songs with just the melody, let you figure out which chords go on there best, right? And then when we will then also then move into a place where we say, all right, I need to take this piece of sheet music that I found on musicnotes.com. They don't have a ukulele arrangement. I'm going to sit it down here. I'm going to pull up my computer or my piece of paper, and I'm going to write out the melody based on what's on there. Then I'm going to fill out my tab, and then I'm going to put my chords in, then I'm going to put my arrangement in, and then I'm going to practice until I can play that song because it was a lot of work, and then I'm going to be famous. So I do need you to make sure that you have purchased your the vest with the glitter on it, and matching outfits for your backup singers, because you're going to be there at the end of the summer. Let's see. Jennifer says, I like modes. Yes. Mixolydian, Ionian, Dorian. There's more. I don't remember them all either. They are fascinating a little bit, but they're not near as fascinating as guitar people thinks they are. Let's see. Hey, Warren, welcome in. And Pam says, I'm very excited about learning all of this. Just wish I was more knowledgeable in music. Don't worry about being more knowledgeable in music. That's what we're doing, right? Jennifer is a professional educator in music. She wants to know more, right? I have a PhD candidate here who lives on, not candidate, a real PhD doctor in music that lives here, always working on trying to learn more, right? Yeah, and so patience, grasshopper, as you go along. And what will happen is you'll start to see things, and we will be talking more and more about what is it, like what is a G chord? Well, how do you know what makes that up? There's, it's all very mathematical. And where we also cover harmony. How funny. That's exactly what I was about to say with Linda. Are we covering harmony? That's where your chords are. That's chords and harmony are the same thing. Okay? Very roughly. If you're using Buffalo in a China shop type of explanations. The harmony in music is the chord. And so we'll talk about how those chords are made up. There's a very specific reason how and why they all end up like that. So yeah, so there we go. Modes sound like Greek architecture. Yeah, guess what they call them? Grecian modes. So yeah. Yeah, there we go. Greek and Roman. Yeah, they're called Grecian modes. They're not. They're honest to goodness. They're not particularly helpful, but they're fascinating to study. All right, we're gonna play this song. We'll play it once on ukulele and then once on baritone, and then you guys sit down tonight. This is the easy one. We'll play through it on Friday. So that gives you a few days to really work this thing up and turn it into something kind of cool. All right, here we go from the top. Slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice idea, Jennifer. Whoops. To the top. That sounded terrible, didn't it? And then keep going into the second part. Sorry, oh, my page turn didn't work. There we go. Page measure 2. I put a question mark after tremolo because I'm not positive you should do it. You might want to try it and see if it sounds stupid or not. All right, so that's what we're working on, guys. Let me pull up the baritone one, same exact thing. And those of you on ukulele, strum along with us in a different key. All right, let's give it a try. There's not a Corinthian mode. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, they have super cool names. The Grecian modes. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but they're really cool. There we go. Nice. That's exciting, Rita. Glad you're doing that. Yeah, it sounds kind of cool, doesn't it, Warren? All right. From the baritone, guys, ukulele players, D chords, when you're on chords and not on melody or tuff uke, keep it cool, right? Desmond has a barrow in a marketplace. Molly is a singer in a band. Right, and that's the wrong key. But if you are on, grab your D chord. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in the band. Desmond da 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 da. Right, so bring some coolness into it as you're messing with your chords. You're really 4 beats of D, 4 beats of A, 4 beats of G, 4 beats of D, 4 beats of A. You know, it's not a complicated strumming song, and so bring something a little bit fancier to it. Pam says, what a difference a week make? I don't know. Well, I don't have it down. I did feel much better creating. Yeah, right? I mean, guys, this is a new idea, right? I've given it all for a whole year. I'm just giving you the tuff uke. Here it is. Play this. All right? You know how to play it now, and just that in and of itself is a miracle. Now you're going to figure out how to create it. Okay? All right. D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. top. Oops, I just kicked my foot pedal all over the place. Hold on, please, while I reconfigure my operating system from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's Obladi, Oblada. Take some time, sit down with a pencil, just write it all out, do what you can with it, and then of course on Friday, Thursday night or Friday morning, I will post my arrangements of this, and you'll see, what you did well, what you didn't do so well, what you did better than Gary, what you didn't do quite as well, and again, always think about playability, right? I'm a decent player at this point. I can play pretty much anything that I put in front of me, not necessarily well, not necessarily in the moment. But if I put my mind to it, I could turn that into something, right? And when you're writing your own arrangements out, and don't make it as hard as you possibly can. Make it as where you can play the song convincingly, I think. And so if that means not putting a chord on everything, that means not putting a chord on everything. There's lots of times when I will skip a chord just because the amount of effort to get it on is way... there's no payoff there because I might mess up the song. All right, tomorrow we'll have Penny Lane, and if I remember right, I have it done. I think it might be done. And next hour in ensemble, here's the list. We will be playing Kumbaya, All My Loving, another Beatles tune, all through the night. A lot of you guys played that as part of Foundations class. We've got Danny Boy in there. People, for some reason, I love playing Danny Boy. People are iffy on it. And then Fly Me to the Moon will be next hour as well. So if you want to come and just play, strum some chords, have some fun playing up against the harmonica, that's what I hope you'll do. And if you don't, that's cool too. And then let's see what else we've got going on tomorrow. We already talked about Penny Lane. So and then tonight is jazz workshop. So try to come and be part of that as well. So check out the website. I'm making lots of changes to it, and kind of getting settled into the summer program. If you know people who need to know how to play ukulele, let them know that June 1st, that Tuesday of that week, right after Memorial Day, that's when we get started. So to let them know, hey, He's kind of a whack job, but he knows how to teach ukulele, and you'll be a good player if you keep showing up. So that's how you do it. You say, I don't know, he's okay guy, but the main thing is you will really be a good player if you'll just go take all 30 lessons from him. So that's what you tell him. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here, and I will see all y'all either later tonight or tomorrow. So let's see, what are my lists? Random act of kindness. Always keep that in the top of your head. Be safe. Get your vaccine. Practice a little. Practice a lot. You guys are pretty good players. Should keep showing up. And if you'll hit the like button and the subscribe button, that's helpful to me. They tell me. Let's see. Do you what music you are doing tonight for jazz? Pam, no, but what I will do is that whatever we played last week, we won't do. So I got to go take a look at that. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick. Last week we did, I should be able to figure that out by clicking here and then clicking here. So last week we did As Time Goes By, Blue Moon, La Vie en Rose, Moon River, and Smile. So we will not be doing those ones. We will take some time to talk about Satin Doll and Moonglow, and then we'll probably have time for 3 of others maybe. So if you have one in particular you'd like to play, please bring that request with you and get it in the chat bar early. And we'll do it that. By the way, if you're new and not feeling like, man, I don't know if I'm ready to join jazz class, yeah, you are. Come play the melodies. That's what we absolutely need, somebody to do that. So that's that. All right, I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Jen, good to see you. Michelle, thank you. Christine, and Elizabeth, Bam. All right, guys, I'm gonna pull the plug. I'll see you guys a little later on. Take care. Peace.